Okay. Let's see here. Ah! Okay. Where can I put things? Ah! Cut it close with this sometimes, don't I? Alright. God, this thing. Every time I try and fix this setup, I hate it. Alright. Oh. There's that. Oh, come on, you dang. Sorry, I'm sure this is what everyone wanted to be looking at as I try and sort this stupid thing out. Enjoy a close-up view of my frustration face as I try and get this to behave the way heck with it. That's what we're going with. So, how's everybody doing? All right, I gotta shift myself, try and center. Oh man, this has kind of been one of those days, a little bit. I'm gonna shut the door. Sorry, the degree to which I was not as prepped as I had intended to be is frankly embarrassing. All right. Oh. The Sixth Doctor is the best. Okay, we're getting right into it now. The thing is, though, that's actually not nearly as controversial a stance as it once was, thanks to Big Finish. Hot time in Jacksonville. 2 a.m. on my end. I'm absolutely shattered, but I thought I might as well hop in to wish everyone a lovely evening. P.S. That includes you, boss. Thank you, Joel. Thank you for stopping in. Now get some sleep. Man, come on. What are your pronouns? Everybody drink. I don't care. Love and Monsters is a classic. Yes, delicious water. I do wonder if the prompting on this is just going to end up getting me a whole bunch of people saying stuff just to bait me. Not that I'm not actually going to accuse people of that, because that's just a rabbit hole. But you know, you have to wonder sometimes. And actually, explaining why I decided to have like an unpopular opinions themed thing is difficult to like explain. This is actually toned down from like my initial thought. I initially thought I'd have it be like the debate me live stream, like, and really just poke the bear. And I was in an argumentative mood yesterday, so I softened it into this. So again, I can't really give you a reason. The twin dilemma is great. Oh my goodness. I just got done with the 10th Doctor. Hold on. Hold on. Something went past me. I just got done with the 10th Doctor. With the 11th, do you have any recommended episodes? Well, start with this first one. Start with the 11th Hour. It's actually really good. But top recommendations after that, I guess Amy's Choice, The Girl Who Waited. A lot of people don't like Asylum of the Daleks. I do, actually, quite a bit. Doctor's Wife. That'd be a good one. Like, I hate to dunk on Clara, but there aren't a lot of great 11th Doctor stories with her. So, stick to Amy Rory. Why can't I get this thing to quite behave on me? Stranger Things 2 Episode 7 was great. See, the thing is, I actually believe that. That is one of my own unpopular opinions. But a big part of that has to do with the fact that I did not particularly like most of the rest of Stranger Things 2. So Episode 7 was like a breath of fresh air for me. Did you see the interview with Sean Pertwee about his dad anniversary? I did. I did see that, Kathleen. That was really sweet. If folks don't know, Sunday was John Pertwee, the third Doctor's 100th birthday, or would have been if he hadn't passed on. I mean, it still is. He's just not here to celebrate it. And the official Doctor Who channel put up an interview with Sean Pertwee, John's son, who is also an actor. He was Alfred in Gotham, and he's quite good. Talking about growing up in that house and with Doctor Who, and it was nice. It was really sweet. Batman and Robin is so bad it's good. No, Batman and Robin is so bad it's bad. I tried going back and watching it through that lens. I still can't. Still cannot. You want to go about FMA? I don't know what that means. I don't like Council of Geek videos. Totally not baiting you. Mwahaha. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but there's something about mwahaha specifically. I just... Series 9 is the second best series for me. I adore it. I actually think Series 9 is overhated. It has the episode that I hate more than anything else in it, which is Hellbent. But the series overall, actually, it's better than most people would give it credit for. Can you say Comic God is the man? And now that's going to get pulled for something and used in isolation, I'm sure. The 11th Doctor's run is overrated. Well, I'll get to judge that for myself when I catch up to it and do a proper rewatch. I actually liked some of the Disney remakes. Get Out. No, it's fine. I'm glad you like them. I actually, I think the fact that I have managed to not see any of these, like the only one I've seen is Maleficent, and I don't even consider that as counting because it's such a vastly different take. I've not had to see any of these. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take my kid to see The Lion King, which is by far the most pointless. I feel like I'm being made to pay for the fact that I got away with it up to this point. 2 a.m. in Dublin. Whew. What I feel like is Council of Geeks' most unpopular opinion is saying you prefer Sim at the End of Time to Sim in The Sound of Drums. He's not as wacky in End of Time, which is good because the wacky didn't work for me. I don't know. Council of Geeks is even better than Stu Bagfull. He's a close second, though. That one I will disagree with. But, that's me making a vain attempt to be humble. Jeffrey Beavers is the best master. Well, he's not bad. If you'd said Peter Pratt, we'd have some words. Even if I had sworn off the remakes, I would watch The Little Mermaid and rave just to piss off the Not My Ariel folks. Okay. Oh, God. Look, if for folks who don't follow me on Twitter, I'm just going to throw this out there because I actually put this up as a tweet, I don't know, about an hour ago. How much you want to bet that all the people going, how dare you racially recast Ariel, you can't possibly justify this, are the exact same people who were going, why are people complaining about Scarlett Johansson being cast as a trans man? She's the best for the part. Shut up. Just saying. RDT made the Time Lords too much like Time Wizards. Give us more technobabble. Did you just request more technobabble? Just reverse the polarity of the neutron stream and call it a day, man. Okay, I've also got some from the Discord, which is patron exclusive. So, here's an interesting one. Tony Stark is the worst character in the MCU. He's too egotistical, self-serving, and self-important. Even when he's seemingly playing the hero, it's still all about him. I see you, Sokovia Accords. So, that's actually kind of interesting because depending on what you want out of a hero, that might be true. I would argue it's quite possible that Tony is the worst hero in the MCU. That's actually distinctly possible. You can make a good case for that. Worst character? I don't think so, because I think this makes him a very dynamic and interesting character, particularly in the way he affects the world and the other characters around him. But if you want to make an argument for worst hero, you might have a case there. Additionally, this is from the same commenter, Maria Rambeau is a better representation of a strong, powerful character in the Captain Marvel movie than Carol Danvers herself. And that also got a shout out from another person. So, like, I'd have to think on that more. I really should see the movie again, but all right, cool. I feel, oh, geez. I've got more people in this than I usually have. I am going to have such a hard time keeping up with the chat. Warn you folks right now. So, apologies in advance for the fact that I am going to miss so many questions. All Doctor Who episodes should be nude. Like the actor should be nude or should be viewed nude? Have a nude view. Overdue Doctor Who nude review. Oh dear. Loki is overrated. Well, see, Liz actually holds that same opinion, so I've heard that one before. I tried to post this last week, but my internet broke. Ian M. Banks was only 34 when he wrote The Player of Games. He died young because of cancer. Oh, I didn't realize he was that young. I'd watch a nude review. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. I might be in trouble now. Nude review with the ood. Oh boy, how rhymey can we get with this? Let's string it along. Captain Marvel is an unbearably boring protagonist in the MCU. I'm not sure how much of an unpopular opinion that is. I don't think the majority of people think that, but it's an opinion I've heard a fair bit at the same time. Monsters, Inc. was the worst Pixar movie. Really? Cars 2? Brave? Yeah, I'll crap on Brave. I don't know how much of an unpopular opinion that is, but I feel like it's more unpopular than it should be. Because, I could go into my whole Pixar thing again. Just the fact that I think Pixar as a company and their overall output is overrated. It just is. I'm not saying they haven't made good movies. I'm not saying they haven't made great movies. They have, but they don't have the batting average most people give them credit for. And fundamentally, I like the approach of other studios over their approach, specifically Disney. And I've laid that out more specifically in a live stream before. I can do it again, but I feel like I'm repeating. I'm not excited for the Little Mermaid remake. I'm fine with Halle Bailey playing the character. There are people thinking that is racist. The whole idea of bringing race into a mythological creature. It's a mermaid. It already doesn't exist. So, I get the gut reaction of that's not how I remember it. I don't want these movies to happen anyway, so I don't care if it's like I remember it or not. But if you actually enjoyed these remakes, I get the gut reaction of that's not what I remember. That's not what I loved as a kid. And I get wanting that and you're not getting it. But to actually say the words she can't be black, I'm like, it's a mermaid. She could be purple. Heck, Ursula's purple. Why not? It's very strange. And so many things, I get the initial gut reaction of aw, but do people not stop and think for 2 seconds before they then open their mouths? And then even after they've said it, they don't go, oh God, what did I just say? They like keep doubling down. It's so weird. So weird to me. I don't know when, as a culture, we became adverse to ever admitting that like we said or did something stupid. Like it's become the big thing to never apologize. I don't know why. It's very dumb. If Wingy Media and Subagful are not in your top 5 YouTubers, then you are just plain wrong. Yeah, yeah, I can go with that. Idris Elba as Triton would be perfect. Does it mean he'll have his shirt off the whole time? Because I could go with that. I didn't like Rogue One. I feel like that's an increasingly popular opinion. I feel like actually most of the Star Wars movies, aside from Last Jedi, which was immediately divisive, but I think like with Force Awakens and Rogue One, the initial reaction was pretty positive, and it's been turning in the time since, and I don't know how much of that is because of the divisiveness that came from Last Jedi, but I feel in general like way few people are prepared to go to bat for it than when it first came out. Male damsel in distress. Is there a male specific term for damsel? Not that I'm saying we can't call guys damsels. We can. I'm down for it. Just saying. If there's a movie I ironically like, it's Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. It's dumb, but I wouldn't say it's incompetent. Okay. I'm gonna ask because I don't know, because I've never seen it, but like, is this like the animated thing, or was like there ever a live action version of that? I'm afraid to ask. I like the Star Wars prequels. Also not as unpopular an opinion as you might think, because I think a lot of people who are younger than my generation, like who were kids, like proper kids. I was 17 when episode 1 came out. So like people who were like a decade younger than me have much more nostalgic feelings for the prequels because they were younger when they saw it. I like the new MJ and I don't mind her being non-white, but couldn't they have found a reason to give her red hair even if it's just dyed? I suppose they could. I don't feel it's necessary, but I mean, they could. Family Guy has devolved into a mean-spirited show. Yeah, I stopped watching Family Guy a few years ago, which was a shame, because while it sometimes pushed my buttons, it really started turning me off a few years ago. 60,000 subs by the end of the year. Yeah, that's not happening. My goal is 40. I would like to hit 40,000 subs by the end of the year. 60, that's not happening. Like, realistically. I don't think so. I mean, like, if it did, that would be amazing, but, like, my subscription numbers would need a serious shot in the arm versus the pace that they're currently going. So, let's see. Going back to the Discord. The Beatles, while they do have a few good songs, are highly overrated. I'm not going to name names for the ones put up in the Discord because I don't want people to get piled on. That is a controversial one that I actually kind of agree with. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the Beatles. I love the Beatles. I grew up on the Beatles. Beatles are great. I don't think they're the end-all, be-all, and if you sit me down and say, hey, pick a 60s, 70s rock band to just listen to and have fun, Beatles is not going to be my top choice. Beatles might not even make my top 5. Before I would pop on the Beatles, I would listen to the Stones. I would listen to Fleetwood Mac. I would listen to Queen. I would listen to David Bowie. I would listen to Led Zeppelin. That's not saying I don't like the Beatles. I'm just saying they're one of those bands that I can appreciate a little bit more than I enjoy, if that makes sense. You don't think the Beatles are gods? Beatles have at least 3 good songs. I'd say they have more than that. Do you like the Doors? I don't know a ton of the Doors stuff. I only know a couple. So I'm not sure I'm in a position to actually talk on that. Kurt Cobain is not the be-all, end-all of grunge. Strong stance, and if I knew more about grunge, I could probably say, but the sense I get, probably true. Looks like you've got some support on that too, Teresa. I don't like the Beatles. Ooh, it's spreading. Have you seen Stranger Things 3? I've seen the first 5 episodes of Stranger Things 3. So I've got 3 more to go. Hopefully I'm going to try and be done by, at this point, I suppose, Thursday. I'm going to try and be done. It's definitely better than the second season. It's not, I don't think it's as good as the first season. I'm not sure it can be because, I mean, the first season just had a surprise factor that can't fully be replicated, but it's definitely working better for me than season 2 was. Excuse me. While Brie Larson said some stupid things, I think people took it too far. Honestly, I didn't even like... Let me put it this way. I am not going to take a stance on whether or not anything Brie Larson has or hasn't said is stupid. The reason I'm not is because the last time I chose to dig into that when people kept claiming, oh, I don't like her because of what she said, it was about Kathleen Kennedy. And when I dug into that and saw the things that she actually had said and the way they got twisted, it just made me deeply, deeply, deeply depressed. And again, that's not me preemptively assuming Brie Larson never said anything that isn't worthy of criticism, but it just means I have zero doubt that even to find that, I'm going to have to sort through some things that were badly twisted by people who had other reasons to smear her, and I just don't wanna. I just don't anymore. Stranger Things Season 2 is the best season. Oh, Sasha. Put him up. Oh. Frankly, I think... All right, forgive me. I'll leave that comment up in the chat there, Castile, but I'm not going to quote it, so you will have to forgive me for that. Michael Bublé is overrated. I do kind of like Michael Bublé. Is he highly rated though? I feel like he's music for your mom, and I say that as someone who actually likes him. The Walking Dead is boring. Yes, it is. I did 1 season, and I have like vaguely followed what's gone on since then. It is either boring or cruel. It seems to have only those 2 modes, which is why I don't watch it. Gallivant is underrated. Oh my God, yes! Gallivant is so good. What? It's on Netflix. Both seasons are on Netflix. They're short seasons. You could binge through the whole thing in a weekend. Why is it not gaining the cult following it deserves? It's so good. The music is good. It's funny. The characters are great. The first season is pretty good. The second season is great. Oh. Way back in days of old, there was a legend told. No, not going to sing it because I'll get a copyright claim on me. Okay. I can calm down. Should I, though? I don't want to. I like Jackson's Hobbit trilogy. Flawed, yes, but I still enjoy it. Well, I'm glad you at least admit flawed, but... Ooh. That's a personal pain point for me, that one. I'd sing along. I'm sure you would, Pirates. At least we got a couple of bars of you singing. But that's all you'll get, because if I tried to go beyond that, I probably wouldn't have been able to stay on key. So it's probably in everybody's interest. The Saranga Conundrum isn't bad. No, but it's bland. I would still say it's bad, but it's like, it's not aggressively bad. It doesn't make me angry the way something like Arachnids in the UK makes me angry. But it's not good. All right, jumping back to the Discord. My unpopular opinion would just be superhero movies in general. Because of the whole superhero angle, it's hard for them to really subvert expectations because you just expect superhero will superhero out of it. Nearly all the time, the danger is quite clearly going to be resolved. Anywho, due to that. So the suspense is quite Quite often, they also come up with some really tiny details that end up going in favor of the heroes in a final bid to go, got you, audience. For that reason, I find it hard to really enjoy superhero movies. Find them too predictable and too forced because superhero angle forces them to come up with some really odd get-out clause at the end. That's actually kind of an interesting point because, like, it's kind of an inherent thing in general with most movies that you tend to assume the hero's gonna survive, but in the age of franchises, that is even more of a foregone conclusion than it used to be. So I think a lot of us, I love superhero movies, but I do get your point that going in and watching a superhero movie way more than was already standard, you know they're gonna win and they're gonna be okay. Which, I mean, theoretically sets up the films who go in a different direction to really catch your legs out from under you, except I'm not sure that's really happened much. But, no, I get your point there. I think that's a pretty fair thought process, pretty fair criticism. I really don't like the movie Bumblebee. It feels cliche and the 80s stuff feels so forced. I still haven't seen Bumblebee. It's not high on my list of priorities. Again, because I never got into Transformers. I don't like Spider-Man 2. I have never liked Spider-Man 2. Ooh, Catherine, that's a strong stance. My feelings on the Raimi Spider-Man movies in general is a bit mixed because, like, I appreciate what they're doing, but what they're doing a lot of the time I don't especially care for. But I do really like Spider-Man 2 specifically. But hey, you can stick to your guns. Unpopular opinion, Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3 are great movies. Yes. Yes. Pirates of the Caribbean did not get bad until the fourth one. The second and third ones aren't as good, but they're still good. They're very underrated. But unfortunately, the fourth, and I didn't watch the fifth one, but I heard that wasn't much better, that it's really gotten phoned in and that's tarnished whatever legacy the original trilogy had, which is a shame. Transformers is a really fun film. Well, I've seen the first Transformers film, and I didn't like it. And people were telling me, oh, well, the first one's the best one. I'm like, I didn't like that, so I'm definitely not going to watch the later ones. New Who, Classic Who, or Big Finish? I think any is a totally valid answer depending on what your own personal preferences are. For me right now, it's still New Who. I need to dig into enough Classic and Big Finish. I don't think Classic is ever going to overtake New Who for me. If I absorb enough Big Finish, maybe. We'll see. I also dislike Rose Tyler. My mother couldn't stand Rose Tyler. My mother loves Martha to absolute death, and she couldn't stand Rose. So people are saying the audio is off. Are people hearing me okay? So I'm going to give a second, see what I get for reaction on there. Yeah, I can heat. I can hear, yeah. Hear you. Okay, cool. You don't like Rose Tyler? Rose is fine. Rose is middling for me. Audio gets echoey now and then. Annoying. Jelly babies are delicious. Having had them, no, they are not. So, The Green Lantern is a good movie. Ooh, that's a choice. Heading back to the Discord. Star Wars is incredibly important to me, but I feel that Episode 9 is going to be almost pure damage control for how fractured the fan base has become. I also believe that Disney is pushing a movie out when they don't actually have a story to tell. I'm not taking that as a given. It's a fear. Like, that would be the worst way to make Episode 9, is to treat it as damage control. Because whatever it's going to be, at this point, the people who didn't like Episode 8 are almost definitely not going to like Episode 9 unless it does actually literally retcon Episode 8. And I cannot imagine Disney actually doing that. And I think it's far more likely that they're going to stick to their guns, stick to whatever their plan is for Episode 9. And if they're going to do something that is primarily a bid for fan goodwill, it's going to be with whatever new trilogy of stuff they do after that. I think they need to stay the course with what they've got. Otherwise, they're going to end up with a trilogy that's going to be an even bigger mess than it already is. And I already think it's a little bit of a mess. So, my biggest unpopular opinion, okay, this is a big one, folks. This is from the Discord. And I'm going to say it the way it's written, I hate Wesley from The Princess Bride. I'm fine with the rest of the movie, but he makes me want to stab things. I can't explain it. It's a visceral thing. Wow. I think that's actually the first time I've ever heard that. I've heard people who don't like Buttercup. I've heard that. I've never heard Wesley hate before. That, ooh. Now, here's the one thing I have to wonder. Whether or not you've seen anything else that has, oh God, I've lost his name all of a sudden. The actor, who's suddenly I can't remember his name. I had it a second ago. He's in the new season of Stranger Things, for crying out loud. Carrie Ellis, thank you. Oh, God, I knew it was Carrie something. Thank you, Pirates. So I have to wonder, like, do you have that reaction to him in everything? Or have you seen him in things where you liked him and it's really just something about this specific performance? Because, like, I have actors where, like, I have that visceral, like, I just don't like you. Sam Rockwell. I just don't like him. So that's my question as to whether it's you don't like Wesley or you don't like Carrie Ellis. But that was a bold one. I kind of really like that. Emma Frost in First Class and First Class as a whole makes me want to murder someone. Elizabeth, I want to put you in the room with a podcasting friend of mine named Shag. Because he and I, the only reason we didn't come to verbal blows over First Class was because the podcast that we were recording on, that it came up on, he was technically facilitating and wasn't supposed to be taking part in the discussion. So he thinks it's like the best thing ever. I don't. So, death to the unbeliever. Oh, man. Karen Gillan deserves awards buzz more than Robert Downey Jr. for Endgame. Is Downey getting awards buzz? That would be strange to me. But my favorite Doctor is Peter Cushing. I still haven't seen those. So Dirk Gently is superior to The Hitchhiker's Guide. It's been a while since I've reread Dirk Gently. I think they're a little unfocused for my taste. Yeah. I mean, they're solid. I like them. It's Adams. He's good. DC or Marvel, which do you prefer? I like both for different reasons, but ultimately, if you're going to force me to choose, I'm going to go with Marvel. I like their overall approach a little bit better. And that's broadly speaking. That's comics and movies. But when DC is good, DC is excellent. But if you're gonna force me to pick just one, I'm gonna go Marvel. Rock and roll is dead and has not had any great true rock band since the 90s. Okay, Gabe, my question to you is, what would you consider to be the last great rock band? I am curious. Okay, so this is about Cary Elwes. It took me a long time to warm up to him, but I eventually did. But I didn't like him because of the movie. I didn't dislike the movie because of him. Okay, so it is something about that character and that specific performance that turns you off. Okay, that is interesting. Unpopular opinion, Marvel has better heroes, DC has better villains. Is that an unpopular opinion? Because I feel like that's just an understanding. Maybe I'm nuts. Do you watch Hello Future Me? He did a great rewrite of the Game of Thrones finale and the Battle of Winterfell. No, never heard of him. Have you ever seen West Side Story? Yeah, ages ago. Ages and ages and ages ago. I don't really remember much besides tonight. I remember tonight. Tonight, tonight. Can't keep singing the song. Because I will get slapped with copyright. There you go. Have fun. Are you looking forward to the new Batwoman series? I'm curious about it. I haven't seen the crossover yet, so I haven't seen this Batwoman at all. So I don't have I'm not that invested yet, but I like Batwoman as a character. I like Kate Kane a lot, so I'm curious. I think classic Who can drag and be really slow a lot of the time, but I enjoy it. I would agree with that. Copyright claimed. Yeah, well, hopefully I'm off key enough that the bots don't pick it up. I'm hoping that works in my favor. I prefer DC. They're much darker. Marvel is for kiddies. I'll dispute the notion that Marvel is for kiddies, and I would also actually dispute the idea that DC is darker. DC became darker starting in the 80s, and I don't actually think that's been to their benefit. I think there are certain specific characters that work well doing dark things. Batman worked quite well going dark with him. But after the success with Batman and going that route, they tried to apply it to a lot of other characters where it does not fit. That's part of my issue with DC overall. Do you like the 100? Have not seen it. Not a single episode. DC is a kiddie thing, but in an emo phase. Well, part of the thing is I tend to dispute the general premise that dark equals more mature. Because 9 times out of 10, dark is kind of like what you said. It's an emo phase. It's very immature, actually. It's very sophomoric. It's very superficial. Like, properly, disturbingly dark. Not just like, ooh, Joker took his face off. Ah! That's not dark. That's just gory and a little sick. But that's not dark. That's not dark the way stuff that shakes you to your soul is dark. Not that I'm saying DC should even be doing that, but you want to... Watchmen is dark. Legitimately dark. A lot of what DC does is just bleak. Bleak is not the same as dark. Bleak is just depressing, and it often doesn't have a sense of meaning to it. I suppose that's my unpopular DC opinion. But again, the thing is, you can cite me, and I'll even agree with some specific examples where that approach has worked very well for them. But again, the problem I have with DC is they keep taking that approach and trying to apply it across the board. It doesn't work for everybody. They need to stop trying to make it do that. I'm a big fan of Gotham's Scarecrow. I think the actor playing Jonathan Crane doesn't get enough credit. Well, they recast Scarecrow a couple times on Gotham. Peter Capaldi was by far the worst Doctor. All right, I know I was trying to be respectful and everything, but I just got to ban this commenter right now. No, I'm not actually going to do that. But, now I've offended DC fans, I can finally sleep. Batman isn't as compelling without Robin. I don't know about Robin specifically, but Batman does need to have his relationships with other people. Otherwise, he's a boring loner. So whether that focus be Alfred, whether it be Batgirl, whether it be Robin, whether it be whoever, whether it be Catwoman, whether it be Selena, like, he needs his other relationships. Otherwise, yeah, he's very boring. Have you watched Stargate? I've seen the film. I never watched the show. DC and Marvel are both terrible. Well, yeah, that's an opinion. Okay, everybody take a drink, because I just got the question, Sandman on Netflix. Thoughts? There's an entire video. It just went up last week. Everybody take a drink. Unpopular opinion, cartoons can be for adults and teenagers without being called anime. Yes. Yeah. My favorite mature animations that aren't anime is stuff that the reason it's not for kids is because it's too challenging for kids. And it's requiring too much, or it's too heady for kids. It would never appeal to them. So like the Max animated series, that's not for kids. I consider that to be pretty mature, and it's bizarre and ethereal and strange. Or Waking Life. Quick show of hands. Anybody even know what I'm talking about when I say Waking Life? But like, that's not for kids, but it's also got no swearing, no violence, no nudity. But like, it's dealing with all these big, heady philosophical concepts, and not for kids. And that's the kind of maturity that I love, especially when I can find it in animated form. And yeah, it is unfortunate that you don't get that in Western animation, and usually you have to kind of go to anime to get any exploration of that kind of stuff. But like Netflix's animation approach to stuff like Castlevania and Cannon Busters, calling it Netflix original anime. Well, I mean, the thing about Castlevania, though, is Castlevania is visually, aesthetically anime. I don't know the other one that you mentioned, but like, if you want to take issue with calling something anime, because at least so far as I know, it's not originating out of Japan, although the animation studio might be out of Japan, I don't know. But like, it's being originally written for an English language, and it's not starting out in Japanese. If you want to say that that's not proper anime, that's one thing, but certainly visually stylized, Castlevania, the Netflix series, which I love, is very anime. Much like the games Castlevania are very anime, visually. Hey there, Claudia. Oh, hey, Heavenly Imaginings. Good to see you. I gotta get better at sort of greeting the regulars. I guess Ichi the Killer anime is too mature for kids. Ichi the Killer anime is too mature for adults. Yeah. As amazing as Restaurant at the End of the Universe was, overall it really slogs for about 2 chapters in the middle. Which 2 chapters? I'm curious. Do you like Scanner Darkly? I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to watch it again. I remember wishing I liked it more than I did. But you know, it's been a long time since I've seen it. The doctor shooting someone made me so angry. Oh yeah, that's on the pile of sins of Hellbent, for they are legion. Wolf Children, easily my favorite anime. It just grabbed me in the right way. My daughter loves Wolf Children, and I love it too. But the thing is, like Wolf Children is a great film to share with your kids if you think they'd enjoy it, because kids and adults will appreciate that story on completely different levels. It's really good. Did you talk about The Little Mermaid and I missed it? Do you mean like in this chat? Like not other than shrugging and going, I don't know what's wrong with people. Like that's kind of the extent to which I talk about it. Do you think socializing with Max will give 11 false ideas of what other teenage girls are like? I mean, no more than how screwed up her perceptions of everything kind of already are. I can't imagine it's gonna cause any more damage than everything else she's already been through. Here we are lying dead, standing dead in this desolate restaurant. Oh, I love that book so much. Scarecrow is one of those villains that has creeped me out in almost every version I've seen. I've really liked some of the redesigns on Scarecrow over the years. Actually, you know what was the one that was really creepy? I think it was the third season of Batman the Animated series, because they did a redesign on a lot of the characters, and some of them did not look good. Like the redesigned Catwoman looked like garbage. But the redesigned Scarecrow, he had this very hollow look in the eyes and the mouth, and he had a noose around his neck, like a necktie. Oh, it was so morbid. It was great. Let's see. I'm going to hop on back to the Discord. I got to catch up on a few of these here. Contrarian opinion, most of my guilty pleasures aren't what people would expect. Grade A weirdness, like Barbarella Zardoz, Phantom of the Paradise, Howard the Duck, Forbidden Zone. The only one of those that I've seen is, or seen any part of is Zardoz. I saw the first, 5 minutes of Zardoz and went, nope. Granted, I was also like 22. I was really young, but I just couldn't with that. Movies I'm less likely to advertise my affection for, stuff on the wholesome end of the scale, like Pollyanna, Godspell, and the Parent Trap original version. Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's considered cheesy to express your love of stuff that is just sweet. Like we grow up, we're supposed to be deep and dark and think dark things and have melancholy experiences and really get into the depths of the darkness of human nature. And it's sometimes you just want to pop in Lassie. And I think we get embarrassed to say something like that. But no, that's valid. That's totally valid. Stephen Moffat's early 2005 to 2009 episodes are boring. Huh. Okay. So you're talking The Empty Child, Girl in the Fireplace. I mean, if you're not hooked into the relationship, maybe I could see that one as boring. Blink. It's deliberately paced. Boring seems like a stretch. Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead. I mean, that one kind of takes off like a rocket, if I'm honest, but okay. I love those movies. I'm all for lightness and happiness. Never embarrassed about it. That's good to hear. Screw that. I'm an adult and I like cheesy, corny stuff. Huzzah! I thought they were boring. No, I get it. Cool. And when I'm like, I don't see it, that's not me trying to invalidate your opinion. Your opinion's your opinion. And actually, I'm interested to hear, because now I'm trying to think back on those episodes and go, okay. But for me, they totally worked. But much like I'm not going to say somebody's wrong because they like something that I didn't, I'm not going to say that you're wrong for finding something boring that I really enjoyed. No, it's fine. It's just hard to get my head into that space is all. I love Judge Dredd 1995. Oh, I don't know if I love it, but it's pretty fun. Trans? I love that it's just there as just the word with a question mark. I don't know, Gwendolyn, what do you think? Take your best guess. 2001: A Space Odyssey is what I call boring. The middle third of that movie, I think, is pretty dang good. The opening, the ending, don't care. I don't really care for that movie. I've mentioned this before. Not a big Kubrick fan. really only 2 of his movies that I like, and one of them, I think the only reason that I like it is because I was at the exact right age to see it. That was A Clockwork Orange. I saw it when I was in college, which is kind of like the perfect age to see that movie. If I'd seen it when I was much older, I would have been like, I don't know about this. So like that and Doctor Strangelove. And honestly, probably the same thing. I saw that when I was in college too. So I think those just caught me at the right time. But other than that... Okay, I'm gonna try very hard not to be a jerk about this, but so the follow-up question to trans question mark was, do you have a penis or a vagine? I'm going to assume that's a typo or they're being cute. Here's the thing. If you're curious as to whether or not someone is trans, that is absolutely not the way to ask that question. Ever. Ever. You don't ask another human being about their genitals. Because it's none of your business. Like, how would you feel if somebody who you didn't know said, hey, full bush or shaved? You'd be offended. And to ask that question, right now I'm extending the benefit of the doubt that you're not trolling me, but that's about the rudest possible way that you could ask that question, because the answer is very simply absolutely none of your business. And to pull a line from my own sets that I've used on stage before, unless you plan to meet me alone in a hotel room at a later date, it's absolutely none of your business what I've got going on. And even if that was the case, within 30 seconds, you wouldn't care anyway. So, let's see. Gonna pop on back. So, back in the Discord, I love the 13th Doctor. She's my second favorite. Ooh. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. She kept the quirkiness of the Doctor, which is the main reason I love the Doctor so much. But the biggest thing is that her sense of wonder and hopefulness has returned. She's just a more positive, upbeat Doctor than we've had in a very long time. I'm disappointed that she didn't get more character development this season. Fair. I haven't gotten to know her very well, but I like what I've seen so far. This does not, however, mean I love Series 11. After several rewatches, it doesn't seem as bad as it did at first when expectations were high, but it still has problems. It's not my favorite season, but at least it's Doctor Who. Hopefully lessons will be learned for Series 12. Well, you and I are definitely on the same page for Series 11 overall. And yeah. Like, the 13th Doctor, I feel like I only just, got her at the very end of Series 11. But, that being said, I can appreciate that all of the Doctors we've had since New Who started have been very angsty, very troubled, and yeah, if you want just a Doctor who goes and has adventures, Whittaker's Doctor seems primed to do that, as opposed to just being weighted down with the burden of everything. Now, I've actually enjoyed that, but, we had that for 4 Doctors in a row. So, yeah, you know what? There's a validity to kind of dropping that and going a bit lighter. Let's see here. Sorry, hang on. Empty Child and Doctor Dances are great. I just think Fire, so Girl in the Fireplace, Blink, and the Library were bores. But that's only my opinion. Must be my own braid. Also F transphobia. Thank you for that. Yeah, now sometimes here's the thing. I get the thing where you're like, maybe that's just my brain, because I feel like that's me sometimes. Especially like when I try and explain my thought processes on my takeaways from things like trailers. People are always like, why can't you be positive? Why can't you just get excited? I'm like, it's not how my brain works. I wish I could. I wish I could do something other than zero in on what I think the most likely problems and the potholes and, you know, the big traps that the thing's gonna have to avoid that I just saw the trailer for. But that's just the way my brain works. So I get, like, just the whole thing of that's just not how I process, so it doesn't work for me. I'm actually totally on board with you on that. I'm a critic at heart, aren't we all? Nathaniel's disappointed rant was generally terrifying. I would hate to get on his bad side, but in all seriousness, it was an insensitive question. I try to, you know, to keep my sense of decorum as best I can. But yeah, I've inadvertently frightened people when a switch got flipped. Not like because I've never like lashed out. I'm not a physically person. I've never been in a fight, but like I've had people tell me like, okay, something just happened where like you got this look, and I'm like, I'm kind of nervous now. I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm kind of ticked. Have you played any of the Doctor Who video games as yet? I have not. So let me get back to the Discord. Got a few more of these I got to get through. I didn't hate Fantastic Beasts 2. Well, I'm happy for you. I wish I hadn't. Only because you asked for controversial takes, I don't want to start a fight. I believe that the... Ooh, okay. I believe that at best the Bush administration knew about 9/11 prior and chose to do nothing. At worst, it was an inside job or orchestrated by the PNAC. You'll forgive me for not touching that one. I did promise I would bring them all up in the chat. I'm just, yeah, I'm leaving that one alone. Hopefully you'll forgive me for that. But you know what? Props. That's a controversial opinion. You did not mess around. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm going to do one more off the Discord because I haven't been doing them quite at the pace that I meant to. And oh, jeez, more of them came in. I'm a fan of wrestling, and if we talk Attitude Era, I hate Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is weird because I love the man persona of Becky Lynch based on Austin. I hate The Rock, love Dwayne Johnson though, but I really like The Undertaker and love Triple H to bits. He is tied for my favorite wrestler with Finn Balor. I don't know a lot of these names. Oh, and I liked John Cena before, Thugonomics, but hated him after he started doing that. Just getting myself some more water. I love Kurt Angle the whole time. I'm a huge Hardy Boys fan, but is my favorite, and I think Jeff is totally overrated and kind of boring without his brother. I always liked Christian better than Edge. I thought Right to Censor was hilarious and awesome. For anything more related to the channel, I enjoyed the Daredevil and Elektra movies. Okay, that one I can actually respond to. The Ben Affleck Daredevil movie is, underrated feels like a stretch. Overhated is what I would call the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. There's actually quite a bit that's quite good in that. Including Affleck himself, I think he's actually genuinely good in the part. As for the Elektra movie, I'm one of the like 5 people that actually saw that in the theater, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't good though. It like they just didn't know what they wanted it to be, like at all. It was just kind of there. Water, sure, water. It is. It's my water mug. Hydrating. As you have said, you're a big fan of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Would you consider doing a video on the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy? Only if I think I could add something that hasn't already been said about it. That's always kind of the trick with something like that, because like I feel like Edgar Wright's work in general is the kind of stuff that gets really thoroughly picked over with a fine-tooth comb by people like me, and has already been done by people who are probably better at this than I am. So, like, maybe, because I forget what he's working on now. Maybe in the lead up to Edgar Wright's next film, maybe I'll revisit those 3 and like do a combined thing. I probably wouldn't do a full review for each one. Hydrating intensifies. I count the 1996 Doctor Who movie as a New Year's special. Actually, you could. It didn't air near New Year's, though. It just was set during it. It was a huge missed opportunity to not make Hawkeye deaf in the MCU. I just wonder if they weren't sure that they would be able to sell it. But, like, it would have been cool. I think Martha's a bad companion. All right, well, you're wrong, but no, guys, no. Like, it's an opinion. I don't agree with that one, but I'm enjoying dehydrating right now. Sips whiskey and Coke. Keep in mind, I do not dislike Stephen Moffat, and also thought his series finales were complete letdowns, like the build-up didn't match the actual finale. Actually, I'd agree with that more often than not. This will come up as I eventually get to his stuff with Overdue Doctor Who, but more often than not, he had killer penultimate episodes to his series, and then, like, not especially good finales more often than not. Unpopular opinion, I never found the show Jackass to be very funny. Well, I never got into it, so I couldn't really say one way or another. It's just not really my style of humor. I do not like Starfire on Titans. I'm still trying to figure out, how did Starfire become a prostitute? I mean, she was like masquerading as one, possibly. I feel like that's a little harsh. Unpopular opinion, I don't think the show Jackass is funny. Yeah, I saw that one already. I will say this, like, I was in a bad mood, and I did on a whim see Jackass 3D in the theater. And I did actually have a good time with that. It did pep up my mood. It didn't make me want to see anything else they'd done, but I wasn't sorry that I saw that. Adam West was the best Batman. He is a unique Batman, certainly. He's actually quite good. I do like Adam West a lot. What do you mean Starfire's a prostitute? Okay, if you've seen the new Titans series, Starfire, we still don't know the full deal with her, because, like, she's only just been getting her memory back. But she appeared to have been infiltrating some underground things, posing as an escort of some fashion. And that sort of accounts for her look in the series. I don't even like Batman. Is that an unpopular opinion? Yes. Yes, it is. Have you got a favorite black and white old movie? Ooh. It's either gonna be The Maltese Falcon or After the Thin Man. Because there's my unpopular opinion. Well, first of all, hey, you have to be into old movies to even know the Thin Man series, which is great. They keep rumoring that they're going to remake it. They should not. It's awesome. But the Thin Man is a comedy mystery series, and generally everyone says the first one's the best. I disagree. I think the second one's the best. So there's an unpopular opinion there. I remember you kind of scared me when you mentioned when I mentioned I would like the Vashnarad to return, and you read it. It was my first time on the stream. Oh, well, I'm glad you came back, Slicks. I'm sorry. I'm glad I didn't totally scare you off. Thin Man remake, totally need to leave that series alone. Oh, I know. Like, I haven't heard that for a while. Like, I remember about a decade hearing that, like, oh, we'll get Johnny Depp to do it. I was like, no. That was even before I had full Johnny Depp burnout, and I was still like, no. I don't think they were talking about that anymore, though, thankfully. It's a Small World is not an annoying song. Oh, it's like the quintessential. Ooh, man. Popular opinion, Steve Rogers is a bad character and a bad hero. Yes, I would say that is an unpopular opinion. Let's see. I found Matt Smith's Doctor. I'm going back to the Discord here. I found Matt Smith's Doctor and Amy Pond incredibly boring until Rory joined and hated Capaldi's start. Well, I like hating Capaldi's start. I kind of sympathize with insofar as I liked him better every series he was in. I didn't hate him at the start, but I didn't start loving him until down the line. Let's see. Scroll down here. Sorry, I'm still going through the Discord. It looked like a little chat. It started going back and forth, so I have to sort out what people were just talking between themselves to, and the actual things that wanted to be shared here. Is this topic like the argument sketch in Monty Python? No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we're going to venture slightly off geekery here, again, from the Discord. I know one contrarian opinion some have, but I think it is so wrong that you cannot be Christian and believe that people who are LGBTQ are sinners simply for the fact that they live that lifestyle. First, it says that we should love all, also people that are in love no matter how that is expressed, is doing what is right. The funny thing is that Christians feel that sex without being married is sinful, but if they don't want LGBTQ people to marry, then what can they do? Also, as Groucho Marx put it, whatever it is, I'm against it. What's always been very curious to me, and like, I don't want to delve into this too much because I myself am not Christian. I wasn't raised Christian, so like, I'm speaking from an outsider's perspective on this. I wish I was on sounder footing, knowledge-wise, but the religion, to the extent that I understand it, what's very strange to me when Christians condemn things like homosexuality, and actually add quite a number of things, but that's kind of the big one. That's pulled from a book in the Old Testament, whereas Christ's actual teachings are all in the New Testament, and those teachings being primarily love each other. So it's very strange to me because, like, in my mind, and again, outsider looking in, what it feels like it should be is that the teachings of the New Testament are meant to, if not completely supersede the Old Testament, to be the new new voice of authority. Like, this was the old way of thinking. Here is the new way of thinking. Here is your new gospel. And so it's very strange to me when Christians, who theoretically are primarily following the teachings of Christ in the New Testament, cite the Old Testament for their condemnations of some things. That it's very strange to me for that reason alone, before I even get into anything else. That's always one of those things that I've found very confusing, because like the Bible is incredibly, self-contradictory. So there's a lot of picking and choosing going on. I'm trans, MTF, but raised Catholic, and I still am. And you know what? That I have a lot more than I would have thought. Friends who are some degree of trans who still actively engage in their faith. I think there's a narrative out there that if you are religious and trans, being trans involves breaking away from your religion. And I haven't found that to be true. I have a couple of friends who go to church every Sunday. I have a non-binary friend, goes to church every single Sunday. I have a trans man friend, goes to church every Sunday. His wife is involved with the church. And he's still working through the sort of the big sort of parts of his transition. So he's still fairly early into it. So it's not even like ancient history for him yet. And it's funny to me that there is this sort of belief that faith and being trans or gay or whatever are incompatible, and that's not been my experience. Even speaking as someone who does not engage in formalized faith, but just through people I know that's not true. We actually have some LGBTQ people in my church, and I've had a conversation with someone about LGBTQ and how it has, and how it can be seen as linked to a relationship with God. Oh. Okay, man, how Christian systems work is both. See, the rules are set in the days of old, and the new way of thinking, aka New Testament, still keeps some of the old rules. Okay, I get that. But again, I don't know. It just feels like, okay, forgive me for being crass, and I'm not trying to crap on any, but tonally, just talking in terms of tone and the vibe of the books, because I have not cover to cover, but I have read portions of the Bible, Old Testament and New. I had to for various classes at various points. So, just the vibe I get. Old Testament feels like it was written by an angry drunk. And New Testament feels like it was written by the same person after being sober for 2 years. So, I get that it's all coming from the same person, but I feel like this perspective is kind of expected to take precedent over this one. And that was probably a really crass way of putting it. I'm probably going to ultimately regret saying it that way, but I'm just talking in terms of tone and vibe. I'm not trying to call God a drunk. Nor am I implying that I am God as I sip my water. It could also have been mistranslated. Well, that's actually, okay, boy, we've really gotten into the weeds on this. The question of mistranslation is actually one of the driving reasons as to why I have always been reluctant to engage in formalized faith, because unless you know fluently the language that the Bible was originally, or any religious text was originally written in, then and this is primarily an impact on Christianity, but it would be an impact on me with anything, because anything I wouldn't know that language, but it's something that like the Jewish faith kind of has the advantage on, because they've kept Hebrew alive as a language. But anyway, the point that I was getting to, when people quote the Bible, chapter and verse at me, they're quoting English, which means they're quoting a translation. The leap of faith involved to assume that nowhere along the line did the translators, to say nothing of the people who initially put pen to paper, did not in some way misinterpret, twist, or rework the message to their advantage or to their intrinsic beliefs. That's a leap of faith I can't make, because people, Oof. I don't know if that oof is directed at me. How many people have I lost out of the chat on this whole tangent I've gone on? Oh boy. I feel like religion is the old form of therapy from way back when. That's an interesting perspective. When people say read the Bible, my question back is which one? That's a valid response. And see, it's funny. I'm always incredibly self-conscious about touching on subjects like religion, because I know it's something that people have really deep-seated feelings about, and it can be a very fraught topic. But the thing is, broadly speaking, I actually love talking about it. For the same reason I like talking about things like, say, philosophy. I love the concepts, and I love trying to wrap my head around it, partly knowing that I'm not going to be able to fully wrap my head around it. Like that, the basis of my own... Okay. I can't help but find it funny that kicked out as I started to go on a religion and spirituality rant. I wonder if I should take that as a sign and just quit while I'm ahead. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay. And Maureen, you didn't actually miss the rant, because as soon as I saw it started buffering, because it actually happened on my end too, I stopped talking. So nobody missed anything. We're going to break the record for the longest Council of Geeks live stream. Oh, possibly. How related? Oh, jeez, this is going wild. Okay. Let me get back to the Discord, see if there are any more that I missed. I love the Ewoks movie. Actually, the first one's kind of fun. The second one's not good. I love Ewoks and Porgs. Oh, jeez. Lot of love for the... Oh, somebody in the Discord did still clarify, but not Jar Jar Binks. Okay, so there are still limits. There's still a line. Cool. Oh, okay. This is from the Discord. This feels like a personal attack. Pickles taste horrible, but at least they're not as bad as tomatoes. Okay. Tomatoes, I will grant, are not for everybody. Liz doesn't like tomatoes. Fine. But pickles, I burn through a pickle jar. I burn through pickles at a rate of 2 jars a week. And I'm usually not even here for 2 or 3 days out of the week, because I'm off seeing Liz. And whenever I go see Liz, she makes sure to stock up on 2 things: pickles and salsa. And guess what's the primary base of salsa? Tomatoes. Yeah, I eat a lot of pickles. Pickles are my go-to. Like, I'm kind of hungry, but I don't know what I want. I'll have a pickle. Or actually, more accurately, I will have 4 pickles. So, yeah. And that's dill, by the way. Like bread and butter, those are not pickles. There's something else. If it's not dill, it's not a pickle. All right? You can still add extra things to it. You can do spicy, you can do garlic, but if it's not dill, it's not a pickle. I will not entertain anything to the contrary. I think I've almost got all the Discord stuff. Oh, Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You" is better than Whitney Houston's rendition. Well, she certainly got the benefit of being the original. Daleks and Manhattan Evolution. Daleks were also very enjoyable. I love Jupiter Ascending. I've heard that. I still haven't seen Jupiter Ascending, though. Hellband's actually great. Not perfect, but I love it. Ooh, boy. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go down that road. But Titus is absolutely the best film covering any Shakespeare's work. Also, screw Romeo and Juliet in general. Two things there. First is, yes, Titus is great. It is a wonderful interpretation of Shakespeare. I'm not sure it's my favorite. I'm also very partial to Richard III, the one with Ian McKellen. But Titus is very good. Additionally, though, Romeo and Juliet, I'm not going to say to hell with the Romeo and Juliet. I am going to say to hell with anyone who says Romeo and Juliet is romantic, because it's not. It's not romantic. It is a tragedy, and Romeo and Juliet are idiots. That's not a plot hole. That's the point of the story. It is two hormonal teenagers who just friggin' met, ruining their lives and the lives of their family because they're horny. That's the point of the story. It is not romantic. And anyone who says it is wasn't paying attention. The Scottish play is my favorite Shakespeare play. Yes, I'm a theater person, so I'm paranoid, and I'm going to say it that way. Horny relationships are bad, I should know. I think most of us can vouch for that from some stupid decision somewhere along the line. Though the play is actually pretty dirty and people don't expect that. Oh, Shakespeare's filthy! It's so... my daughter's mother teaches theater in high school, and the quickest way she can get high schoolers to be interested in Shakespeare is to quote them a line of Shakespeare and explain that it's a dick joke. Because there's a lot of them. Okay, I'm not gonna read any of these out loud, but some interesting conversations going on right now. Do you know the real reason for the Scottish play curse? I know the superstition among theater people. Do I know the real reason? Possibly, probably not. I like ham school. Dread till exams was not fun. Oh, are we buffering? Are we back? Buffering. Is it buffering for everybody? Really bad buffering. They're saying back. Hang on, gonna check something here. Give me a second. Back. Yes, back for me. Okay. I think we've got it now. Okay. Sorry about that. For me, it's still buffering. Sorry, dude. Okay. Anyways. I love the Red Nose special with Tennant and Catherine Tate, where she quotes the one Shakespeare sonnet at him. Like, I first of all, like, one of the big mistakes we make in trying to teach teenagers about Shakespeare is we make them read it. Shakespeare is not meant to be read. Shakespeare is meant to be seen. It is meant to be, embodied by an actor. That is like reading a play. I'm not saying it has no value, but that is not the way in which it is meant to be taken in. That's like trying to teach somebody about Kubrick by having them read the script to 2001. Like, you're doing a disservice to what you're trying to teach. So it's very strange to me that Shakespeare is such a staple of English classes. I'm assuming in the UK too, but from my experience in the US, but the focus is on just read the play. And maybe if you're lucky, your school will take you like to one trip to see it get performed. And I think that's a big part of why I think a lot of people kind of don't appreciate Shakespeare, because until you, and especially the language is not nearly as tough to get through if you're seeing it performed, if you're getting the context of seeing characters react and how they say it and the inflection in their voice. You don't need to get the words in order to get the meaning. Well, this stream is long. Yeah, it's gone on a while. I think I am going to... Oh, God, I've gone about an hour and a half. I think it's time to call it a night. This one's been all over the place. This was fun. It really did run the gamut and go everywhere. Unpopular opinion, Last Jedi is the best Star Wars. I'm ready to get mugged as soon as I step outside. Watch your back, Andrew. I'm not saying I'm going to be the one mugging you. I'm just saying I might be video recording whoever does. Water. Catch you later. Thanks for talking. Thanks a lot. This one went long, but I had fun. So thanks a lot. And until next time, everybody, you are beautiful. You are loved. You are valid. You are the council. And thank you for joining me for this particular meeting of it. So, till next time, everybody.